Hey, welcome. How you doing? Matt here from Surplus Trader Secrets. So just fresh back from a 4-day trip to Amsterdam, which was absolutely fabulous. Adult Disneyland, as they call it. So much to do. Walked a lot, ate a lot, slept a lot. Walked a lot and ate a lot and the rest. So yeah, how to spot a surplus inventory opportunity. There are actually many ways of spotting opportunities. When I say spotting an opportunity, something that you see somewhere which actually leads you to getting offered some surplus inventory from a company, and that is the main aim of, obviously, getting deals done in this business of brokering inventory deals by finding some inventory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 4 or 5 examples of how to actually spot a opportunity, an inventory opportunity. So one thing that I actually saw recently, and this was something that I actually spotted on the news here in the UK, and this is going to be something that's like all over the world certainly in the next months, year, whatever. So what's the biggest subject going on across the world at the moment? It's to do with the the climate change. That all these countries are very, very serious about sorting out. It's a big problem. The climate change. So what I saw on the news recently was that it's going to be something that's certainly happening around the world. All products that are manufactured are going to be, the packaging that they put products into are going to have carbon emissions information on the packaging. So basically, sustainability. It's good. You're going to have to companies are going to have to legally put information on retail packaging about carbon emissions, like what percentage of carbon emissions were used to actually make that product, and that'll be, any product. Not just food products or drink products, but any kind of product, anything that's packaged, anything that is inside retail packaging. All companies are going to have to be responsible and actually put that information on the packaging about carbon emissions. This is going to be a legal thing that companies are going to have to do in the next year or whatever. So straight away I'm thinking opportunity there, because what's going to happen is that all these millions of companies across the world who are going to have to update all their packaging on their products, all their product packaging that they're going to have to update with this carbon emissions information. What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to get rid of all their products that still contains the packaging that doesn't include the carbon emission sustainability information. What basically is going to happen is that all these companies across the world who make products, the packaging that hasn't got that new information on, they're going to basically clear that stock. They're going to clear that inventory. They're going to get rid of that inventory to make way for the new inventory with the legal information that they need on the new packaging. So what we're going to see basically over the next few years is we're going to see all this change of information on packaging that products are packaged in, and all that old packaging with the old information, companies are just going to clear that through. So if you can imagine, like for example, this here, this is a hair product. So this company here will have to put on the carbon emissions information on this product packaging. So all this product, all these pallets of product that they've got sitting in their warehouse, they're going to be selling that through. They're going to be clearing that stock. And this is going to be going on in every country. Every country across the world who produce products, they're going to be clearing all their old products before they make way for their new product packaging that has that new information on, carbon emissions information. So that is an opportunity that I spotted straight away. What's going to be happening is over the next year or 2 years, you're going to see a lot of companies offering inventory that they want to get rid of because it hasn't got the carbon emissions information on. They're going to be clearing through that stock, and then they're going to be bringing out all the new product packaging with carbon emission information on. So all that old stock that doesn't include that information, that is going to be legal. It's going to be a legal thing that these companies have to include on their packaging. So what you're going to start getting offered is, products, pallets and pallets of products that is the old packaging. Companies are going to be getting rid of stuff that has the old packaging to make way for stuff that has the new packaging and the new packaging information on. So that's one opportunity that you can find. Another one, guys, is the supply chain, and this is still going on very much across most countries. What I'm reading, there's a big issue with the supply chain, meaning that once something is manufactured, that is transported or imported from one country to another, and then once it reaches the port, a truck driver will collect a container of those goods to bring to somewhere else, and then once they've arrived there, they're going to go to the end customer. How are all these goods being transported around by truck drivers? There's a worldwide shortage of truck drivers, basically. So what's happening is, and I read this, I'm reading it all the time, there's containers sitting in ports across the world that aren't getting collected. There's also goods sitting in warehouses that are not getting collected because there's a shortage of drivers. So what's basically happening is there's a build-up of inventory across the world. There's a build-up in the ports, there's a build-up in warehouses. All this inventory is not getting through the system, it's not rotating. So what's going to happen is that, for example, these containers in the ports that are destined for the end retailer, possibly, or end wholesaler, if they don't get those goods on time, a lot of the customers, end buyers, they're just going to cancel. They're just going to cancel the order and maybe look for other options. The supermarkets who are buying in these products, if they don't get their order by a specific date, they just cancel the order. Okay, so these companies who supply supermarkets, they are going to end up with inventory in their warehouse that the supermarket has cancelled because they didn't receive it on time, and the seller now has got that stock in a warehouse sitting on that stock, and it was cancelled. So there's a big supply chain issue. That is another big opportunity, guys. This is in the ports, this is in warehousing companies. There's a big shortage of drivers, lorry drivers. So, the stock is just not being rotated properly. It's just sitting still somewhere in the ports, in warehouses, big delays everywhere, right across the supply chain. So that is another big opportunity that I've spotted. I'm sure many people have spotted it as well. Another thing as well that I use to spot a surplus inventory opportunity is, and a lot of people don't even use this, is Google Alerts. If you go onto Google Alerts, it's basically a thing on Google where you can set up keywords, okay? And then Google will email you whenever something, maybe in the news or something online, maybe, a story or a blog or just any news across any information across Google. If it mentions that keyword, it will email you a link to that story or news. So I could put a keyword, for example, like gone into liquidation. Those 3 keywords, I could put gone into liquidation, or manufacturers of, and that's it. So whenever those keywords come up in some latest news, I will get emailed by Google, and it will be a story. So I will get emailed a story in the news that might mention those words, gone into liquidation, or manufacturers of. Do you see where I'm coming from here? So you've got to think of specific keywords. So I might put a keyword like surplus inventory or excess inventory into Google Alerts, and I've got hundreds of these keywords. So each night I get an email from Google through Google Alerts with a link to something online recently that has mentioned those keywords that I've put in, that I've set up. And that just leads me to a possible opportunity, doesn't it? Because I can click on that link, and if I put a keyword, manufacturers of, if Google have emailed me a link to some news story that says manufacturers of, it's obviously a story about some manufacturer, and it says that they are a manufacturer of a specific product, for example. So I can get that company name and I can search them. I could search for their website, maybe search for them on LinkedIn, and just follow that up. It might be a company that I've never contacted before, and it's just an opportunity. That's all. So Google Alerts are really handy for setting up keywords related to basically what you are looking for. What are you looking for? Another one as well is, and I still do this, and I've been doing this for years as well. Whenever I go shopping, and I did this in Amsterdam recently, I was going into shops and I was like picking up products off the shelf in shops, and I was looking at the name on the back, distributed by or manufactured by. and I was literally getting the name of the company on the packaging. You know, I was literally getting the name off the packaging, and I'll just write the name into my phone, type the name into my phone on notes, or maybe speak it into my phone on, you know, dictaphone or whatever. And, you know, then I'll go back to my office and I'll search that company. And if it looks like a really cool product, you know, I'll get the name off the packaging. And I do this all the time, guys. Whenever I'm in a shop or a supermarket or a shopping mall or, you know, any kind of retail shop, doesn't matter what kind, I'll always pick up products off the shelf. And, you know, this is what I call ethically stealing supermarket suppliers. And it's ethical, because you're allowed to pick up a product and have a look at who's made it. You know, you're literally taking, you know, a retailer's supplier and getting their information, and then go contact that supplier directly. You know, get the website and contact them, or go onto LinkedIn, find that company name on LinkedIn, find a person who works in that company on LinkedIn and reach out to them. And so I do this all the time, and you know, you can do this every week. It can be any kind of product. You could be in a clothing shop and get the name of a clothing brand. You could be in a food supermarket, get the name of food products. You could be in an electrical store. You could be in a DIY store. You could be in a baby product, you know, a baby shop. Any kind of shop, you know, cosmetics, makeup, and just start walking up and down the aisles and picking up things. Pick them up and look at them. Have a look round. Have a look at the packaging. By the way, these are a deal that I'm working on at the minute. These are fabulous. Some chocolate-covered nuts for Christmas. Chocolate-covered plums. These are really cool. I got a big box of samples this morning of these. Just hoping to do a deal on them. 20,000 boxes of chocolate-covered products. Perfect for Christmas. Unfortunately, they expire just before Christmas. But hey, what difference? They're still okay to eat. Okay, and finally, guys, another thing that's great now we've got the internet. Instead of actually subscribing to various business magazines or, you know, business related magazines specific to different industries, what you can do now is you can actually go online and find industries that are basically online, and they have an online industry magazine. So you don't have to physically go and buy or subscribe to physical copies of that magazine. All you have to do is just subscribe to their emails. You know, like for example, you could subscribe to, I don't know, like toys. Like there's online toy magazines, industry toy magazines. You could subscribe to their email list and get latest news on, you know, the toy industry. You can do it with the cosmetics industry. You can do it with industrial, you know, industrial products like the chemicals industry, packaging industry, manufacturing industry, and basically these are just online industry magazines, and all you're doing is you're subscribing to their email list. And what you'll get each day or each week, you will get an email from them with latest news on things going on in their industry. And it'll say things like, you know, XYZ company has just bought out this company, or merged with this company, or this company has just has just brought out this new product, and all you're doing is you're just getting names of companies from these emails that you get each day specific to that industry. And all you're doing is, with these company names that you're getting, go online and get, have a look into this company, see what they do, go onto their website, and again, you can either reach out to these companies, or you can go onto LinkedIn and maybe find a person that works within that company. This is what we're doing, guys. We're not fucking around with these liquidation pallets where we're bringing them into a warehouse and we're inspecting each product and then making a bit of pocket money. No, guys, we're not. That's a kid's game, okay? That's for children to play at. If you want to make real money in this business, okay, guys, what we're doing is we are contacting companies at the top of the ladder. At the top of the ladder, okay? We're not buying returns pallets from a liquidation wholesaler or, a broker, and then pissing around selling one by one on eBay or Amazon. Or even if we were doing it by the pallet and bringing stock into a warehouse. We're not doing any of that, guys. What we're doing is we are reaching out to big companies, like up the ladder, manufacturers, direct importers, direct distributors, and we are flipping these deals that they are offering us onto other companies who want to buy those deals. That's what we're doing it. We're not handling any goods ever. Okay, that's what you got to understand. We're never ever physically handling anything at all, apart from the buyer that buys the goods from us going to pick up the goods from the warehouse. But we don't touch or see anything that we buy or sell, and we're dealing in big volumes of goods that we never touch or see. And we never investing money into inventory. We've never got money tied up ever. That's the greatest thing about being an inventory broker. We're never risking any money. We're not risking any money because we only do 100% guaranteed deals that we've got a 100% firm buyer for. Okay, that's what we're not playing guessing games where we're buying pallets of inventory and having it sat in a warehouse hoping it's going to sell, and then maybe getting stuck with it, maybe because we paid the wrong price or whatever. Next video, by the way, I must tell you about something that happened on Facebook recently, in one of these liquidation pallets groups. I put a post on earlier this week, and it really caused a storm, because it's to do with what people pay for these liquidation pallets. They pay far too much, and I really started to annoy people, and people were saying, "Oh, you're a scammer. What are you talking about? Oh, you tell me where you can buy inventory at 10% of retail price or less." My students will tell you, all the deals we do, we pay 10% or under for inventory. Every deal we do, we pay 10% of the retail or less. Okay? These are liquidation pallet guys. They're paying like between 15 and 40% of retail on liquidation pallet retail returns. And the returns, they're not even brand new products. Guys, we're flipping brand new products, brand new deals at 10% of retail or under, okay, on every single deal we do. And these guys were trying to, call me out and saying that I was like bullshitting, scammer, saying, "Oh, yeah, how do you do this then? What a load of crap." And I was saying, well, trust me, every deal I do, I buy at 10% of retail or less. mostly under 10% of retail. If you want to learn how to buy at under 10% of retail, you need to come into my program, guys, and I'll teach you strategies on how to do it, okay? Don't get involved in liquidation pallets at 15 to 40% of retail. Guys, you're the ones getting scammed, okay? So that's it, guys. That's a few ways on how to spot surplus inventory opportunities, okay? If these resonate with you and you want to get into my program and you want to actually learn how to buy brand new surplus inventory deals at 10% or less of the retail price, then, you know, I'll show you exactly how to do that without getting involved in these liquidation pallets or store returns, retailer returns that are just such a load of crap, that such a saturated marketplace, so overcrowded. You know, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people certainly across America, that are messing around with these crappy liquidation pallets. You know, they're a waste of time consuming. You got to handle the goods, you got to check the goods. You're making very, very little money for a lot of hard work. Waste of time, guys, okay? If you want to start flipping deals without touching it, without seeing it, without tying any money up in inventory, at way cheaper than liquidation pallet prices, then you want to, you know, think about investing in yourself and, you know, learning how to do it from me. So, guys, that is it for today. I will catch up with you very, very soon. Wish you all the best. Have a good weekend. See you next week.